Welcome to another episode of Talking Ball with J Mall. We're going to talk about the Detroit Lions game and go over a little bit of what the season has been overall for the Dallas Cowboys, in my opinion. Um, First of all, Dallas loses a pretty good fought game, 44-30, to the Detroit Lions on Thursday night. Dak Prescott, I don't want to lay this loss at his feet. Multiple things went into this loss. C.D. Lamb going out with a concussion. George Pickens not really playing with full 100% effort. The running game was suspect. And then the exposure of Siobhan Ravel in the passing game. I honestly feel like this is a game where you bring Trayvon Diggs back to see what he has to offer. You kind of limit Siobhan Ravel to to a certain number of snaps. I don't know what went into the decision to not play Diggs, and to be quite honest, it's very frustrating because to Diggs' credit, he did come out in the press conference and say that he was 100%. He's ready to play if they were ready for him to play. I just feel like this is a politic game with Brian Schottenheimer and this front office with Trayvon Diggs. It's like you're paying this dude $20 million to sit on the fucking bench, man, and that's not what we're as fans. That's not what we're expecting, man. Like, I know Diggs was kind of had an ego problem. He's been injured. But when you have a player coming back from injury as many times as he's come back, he's offered up the information, that he's 100%, he's ready to go. And you know that Siobhan Ravel isn't quite yet 100%, and you're still willing to gamble with him at cornerback. I don't know, man. It's very suspect, and I don't understand what Brian Schottenheimer is trying to sell to the fans of the Dallas Cowboys, but it's very it feels very fickle. It's like the Malik Davis versus Jaydon Blue dilemma. I feel like the whole Malik Davis playing more than Jaydon Blue is also another political play. Malik Davis was misused and not given any opportunities under the Mike McCarthy administration. Brian Schottenheimer was dirty macking, as my boy Vach says, and so he understood the assignment with Malik Davis. And this is no knock to Malik. Malik's a good player. He does contribute on special teams and in the running game to some point. But I feel like if you give Jaydon Blue those outside zone runs that you're giving to Javonte Williams, I've not seen Javonte Williams take an outside run for more than 3 or 4 yards all goddamn season. And it's very frustrating to sit here and hear them say that Javonte is a complete back. He might be a complete back to the degree that he picks up pass pro, that he's an inside runner. He is not an outside runner. And I feel like if you give Jaydon Blue those outside run opportunities, he's going to hit more often than not. And you're not giving Jaydon Blue those opportunities. The 3 games that I've seen Jaydon play, I've seen them try to run him on the inside and use him once in the screen game, and it was called back for a hold. So get your shit together, Brian Schottenheimer. Like, it makes no sense for you to sit here and try to sell the fans on Jaydon Blue not being ready when you're not giving him the opportunities that match his skill set. You got to be out of your mind to sit here and think that anybody that knows football and knows the game, how the game should be coached and how game planning goes, to try to sit here and sell that Jaydon Blue is not ready for the big show. You're crazy. Like, I don't know who you think a lot of us are, but we're not dumb. That dude has world-class speed. He was the most used running back in the passing game in college football last year. So it makes no sense for you to sit here and try to say that he's not ready when you're not even giving him the opportunity that matches his skill set. You're giving Malik Davis the burn that and a lot of Cowboy fans feel like Jaydon Blue deserves. And it's like Malik Davis is hot and cold as it is. He had that one good run against the Chiefs, but where was he in the game against the Lions? It's no different than what Jaydon Blue has done. So to try to sit here and say that Malik Davis is light years ahead of Jaydon Blue is just malpractice, man, and it's very frustrating to watch as a Cowboys fan. To speak on the Pickens issues, it's a non-issue, man. When you play 3 games in 12 days, your body's beat up. I can't imagine what his body may feel like after the Chiefs game, after the Eagles game, and then to take on the Detroit Lions, who are even more of a physical, imposing team. So for people to sit out here and say that, oh, he didn't give 100%, let's see you go play 3 full games, or two before that game, 2 full games within a 12 days span. Take the amount of hits that Pickens has taken, hurdle a player on top of that. I mean, just think about the attrition that goes into playing 2 professional teams in a matter of 10, 12 days. You guys are irresponsible with your outrage. Like, there's no reason to be sitting here trying to blow this man out of Dallas for what people are deeming not giving his all of his effort. People get tired. The fact that he even showed up for the game and did play. Pickens made catches. He did give effort. Just because it wasn't the amount of effort that you wanted to see doesn't make it any less important, or like it didn't matter. Richard Sherman, he's always been a Cowboys hater, and I really don't listen to Richard Sherman or anything that comes out of his mouth. I feel like he's one of those guys that does shit for the clicks. There's just so much that's not really worth. There's nothing worth arguing about Pickens' effort, and it was really good to hear Jerry Jones come out and defend Pickens and explain the same thing that I'm explaining to you guys, here about Pickens and his demeanor and his effort and his willingness to show up every Sunday or Thursday. No matter when it's time to play, that dude lines up to play. It does bother me that Dak again, forced a lot of passes. I don't know what's going on with the chemistry between Dak and Jake Ferguson, but it seems like that's inconsistent this season. The Jake Ferguson fumble when we were driving and almost in scoring position, if not in Brandon Aubrey's range, really upset a lot of fans, because you want to protect the ball at all costs in that situation, man. Dak's interceptions going off of Pickens' hands or off Pickens' body. I can't remember how the first interception played out, but it's just, I don't know. You can't blame Dak for receivers not catching the ball, or for the ball bouncing off the receiver's hands. You can blame him for the timing of some of those throws Thursday night, though, and he did the same thing in the Chiefs game. It was almost like he was waiting to deliver the blow, the defeating blow, and it was mistimed a lot of the times. There was a couple of times after the first pick that he threw, the only pick that he threw in the Chiefs game. There was a couple of times that he could have been picked. He was almost picked off again because he was forcing throws. And it would just be nice to see Dak just sit back there, collect his feet, and deliver the throw when it needs to be thrown. Lastly, the defense. I've already beat up Siobhan Ravel. I am going to go back to this secondary, though. I don't want to see Donovan Wilson anymore this season. Everybody was raving for his return, and I don't understand why. I've never been a fan of Donovan Wilson. I feel like he's just a hit stick kind of player, and he doesn't really play with a lot of instincts. He's just honestly a hard hitting safety that I don't know. He kind of is a liability in coverage, and you saw that Thursday night against the Detroit Lions. You also saw that last Thursday against the Chiefs. You can go back to at least, I don't know, maybe 7 of the games that they've played this season, and you can see where Donovan Wilson was a liability in coverage. They don't play on the balls of their feet. Him normally Hooker. Hooker is a little bit better, but Dallas truly needs an upgrade in that secondary, and it's obvious. It's blatantly obvious. And for Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones to miss that part of the evaluation this offseason, to not even address bringing in a veteran presence like a Jonathan Simmons, or Quandre Diggs when he was released from the Titans later in the season, the fact that they have made no effort to improve the safety room doesn't really give me any hope that they're really positively sold on this being a playoff team this year. Shout out to Quentin Williams. Shout out to DeMarvion Overshown. Those guys have tried to be the backbone of the defense this season, albeit the second half of the season. I just hope we see better Cowboy football when we take on the Chargers this coming week. It would be a breath of fresh air to see this team bounce back, and actually go out there and dominate a game that they should dominate. I don't know, and we'll see. But I will end with this. I am really tired of people beating up on players like a George Pickens or like a Jaydon Blue because of their desire to see them do what you want them to do. That's not how this works. These players have skill sets. And when you have a head coach that is not utilizing a player's skill sets to his advantage, that's on the coach. That's not on the player. Like I said, Javonte Williams running these outside zones and these sweeps is a mismanagement of personnel. There is no reason to have someone with 4.5 speed trying to claim the edge on a run where you have these linebackers that are chasing him down from behind. Give Jaydon Blue those opportunities and see what happens. I guarantee you this offense opens up. I guarantee you this run game can be a lot better if Brian Schottenheimer could pull his head out of his ass and actually start using his personnel and their skill set to match his play calling. Because there's no I do not want to see CeeDee Lamb in the backfield again. I don't want to see Kevontae Turpin in the backfield. A receiver should do receiver things, and a running back should do running back things. Trying to use your receivers in the running game is only going to get them hurt, especially a Kevontae Turpin. That dude is a $105 soaking wet, and you're trying to run him on draws and sweeps. That is insane. Bring Jaydon Blue up and use his skill set to match your play calling, man. Once again, this is J Maul talking ball. Love y'all. Have a good night.